Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brave Enough to Talk podcast. I'm your host, Cousin Marcus, and today we're going to talk about procrastination. Procrastination. We've all done it. You do it, I do it, we all do it. We all scream for procrastination. We've all said it. I'll do it tomorrow, but tomorrow turns into next week. Next week turns into next month, and the next month turns into next year, and then the guilt starts to set in. And why does the guilt start to set in? Because time has passed, so much amount of time has amassed, and you had a goal in mind, something that you set your eyes on, set your sights on, and that you wanted to accomplish. But little by little, the days goes by, and you're still in the same spot you was a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, and nothing has changed because of procrastination. Procrastination, and I'll be honest with you, procrastination has been my biggest enemy. It's something that I've dealt with, suffered with a lot of times in life, whether it was, in youth and college, even as an adult. You know what I mean? It can hold you back severely from accomplishing a lot of things that you want, accomplishing a lot of dreams, goals, aspirations that you may have will not come to fruition because of the procrastination that you deal with. And honestly, a lot of that comes from, fear and things that it comes from that when it affects your mental health. Um, and to be honest, let's normalize it. Everybody procrastinate. Everybody does it, but it definitely hits the mental health hard. You know, it definitely affects your mental health. There's been times, man, that there was something that I would want to do, I want to accomplish. Let's say I'm like, oh man, I want to take classes doing, I don't know, let's say painting. I want to start painting. Oh, I'm gonna try that tomorrow. Tomorrow comes. I was like, oh well, it's Sunday. The art store is closed. Maybe I'll try again on Monday. Monday comes, I don't get up, I don't go. I come up with another excuse. I'm like, oh, well, I'll start next week because this week I was kind of busy. Next week comes, I still don't do it. And then time passes by. I'm looking at social media. I'm seeing people show their artwork or things like that, and then I'm looking at myself. Why didn't you do that? You could be doing that. Didn't you say you want to be an artist? Didn't you say you wanted to paint more? You know what I mean? And then it just starts to feel like this never-ending cycle of not getting things done. You know, and honestly, it's not necessarily laziness. It's not that, oh, you're a lazy person. And don't get me wrong, that might be the case for some people. But a lot of times that's not really the case. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because, oh, you just don't want to do fun things in life and you enjoy just sitting on the sofa looking at the wall, the four walls around you 24/7. I mean, everybody wants to do other stuff. Nobody wants to just be bored at home all day. It's often tied to fear, perfectionism, or it's just flat out overwhelming sometimes, to start new things, to go into new endeavors and, you know, get out of those waters that feel so, um, you know, calming for you or get stepping out of your comfort zone. That's kind of what the problem is, what a lot of people deal with, that fear of the unknown, of in that, like I said, that perfectionism. Will I mess it up? Nobody's going to be a professional the first day, no matter what it is that you're trying to do. Not everybody's going to be a child prodigy at something. You want to start something new, put on the training wheels. You're going to start from scratch. You're not going to know how to do something perfectly the first time, and that's quite all right. That's quite all right. That's a part of the journey. It's the learning, the growth and the development of a new skill or a new task or a new interest that you have in everything. And it's kind of, it's a joke that people say, it's the friends we made along the way, but it's true. The journey, what makes the journey exciting is everything we learned along the way, whether it's the friends we made, the experiences we had, whether good or bad. It helped develop us into who we are today. It helped develop and it helped make whatever it was we wanted to achieve in the end. Once you achieve it, it makes the journey makes the achievement feel that much better. Think about those of us who've graduated college, or you did some sort of graduation. At the end, you're like, man, I hated all that studying. I hated all that homework. But man, this degree, this diploma, this achievement feels so good. This certification, whatever it is you've done, feels so good. Think about athletes who train to reach the pinnacle of their professions. Once they win this championship or this award, it feels so good because all of that hard work paid off. And you don't get that through procrastination. You just don't. Um, and honestly, like I said, the fear of failure, it just, nobody wants to fail, but that's all a part of the process. And a lot of people look at it like this: if I don't start, I can't fail. But if you don't start, you'll never finish. Just because you fail doesn't mean you can't finish. But if you don't start, you'll never finish. That's the difference. Someone who fails has a higher chance of success than someone who doesn't even try at all. I mean, can't win if you don't play. You know what I mean? My grandfather used to say that all the time about winning the lottery. He's like, man, I'm winning the lottery one day. I'm gonna play my numbers. I'm gonna play my numbers. And I do that sometimes too. And people tell me, they're like, oh man, what you playing the lottery for? You're never gonna win. I'm like, well, you're not either if you're never gonna play. At least I have a chance. It's better to have a chance than none at all. That's kind of how I look at it. And you should look at it like that too when it comes to life. Don't always procrastinate. The fear of success. Some people have the fear that if I do it and I do succeed, I got to keep that level up of success. I got to keep up that standard. I might not be able to do as good as I did last time. Let's equate it to, let's say, music, or people who create on social media and they go viral. You got to keep reaching for that virality. Yeah, in the next video, you keep trying to, oh, I got to do better than the last. If it wasn't as good as that 10 million view video, it just wasn't good. That's not how life works sometimes. Or if my music didn't reach that same level of success and people didn't like it the same way they did the last album, then it's just flat out good. I'm not good. I suck. I mean, that's not necessarily how it works, because art is subjective. Just because it wasn't, a hit with the masses and it wasn't in the clubs and the parties doesn't mean it wasn't a good song. There's a lot of music out there that we like and it's like, man, that was really good. It's just not mainstream. It just doesn't fit the mold of what people want to hear as a whole. But that doesn't mean that it's not good. And so when people are chasing the success, and trying to replicate what they did before, that can affect people big time mentally. It's like, man, you don't love it anymore. You don't love what you do, and that's a lot of problems that can come with that, along with success, and that's what kind of stops people and makes them procrastinate as well, because they're worried about, if I do good, or people who have tried and they do good, they put off doing more because they're afraid that what they do from this point on will never be as good as what they did before. They will never be able to achieve as much um, success as they did yesterday. Um, and honestly, some people deal with the lack of energy or depression. Sometimes when you're going through the motions, you got something going on in your life. And like I said before in a previous video, you tend to not want to be involved in things. You kind of become reclusive. Um, it's kind of like, if I just kind of stay away, it goes away. I don't want to ruin anyone else's day. I don't want to, I just want to curl up in a ball. And I get it. I get it. I've been there, but it doesn't help. It does not. It's like I said, it's a cycle. You're missing out on beautiful days. You're missing out on new skills you could be learning. You're missing out on a lot of things. You're missing out on the journey that could be had with you doing new things, with you going outside, with you not procrastinating. And it's not to say I don't understand, because I do. I went through it and I do go through it. But I am saying this as someone who's actively trying to change that and actively trying to help that it's better for you to move slowly than to not move at all. Try to do something in smaller steps if you have to. Um, and I understand a lot of times when people look at stuff and they procrastinate, the biggest problem we have is the instant gratification. And social media is a huge perpetrator of that, is the biggest culprit of why people deal with so much instant gratification. Um, if it doesn't reflect a good job in the first 5 minutes of me doing something, then it was a failure. Like I said, you look at social media, if somebody who creates art or does something interesting and they share it on social media, and if it doesn't get the reaction that they expected to get, then it means it was a failure. A friend of mine, this is a great example, who travels the world, right? And I mentioned to her, I was like, man, you would do great, sharing your travels, your content and stuff on the internet. People would love to see it. I love to see it because she shares it with me all the time, and she has a private profile, but she shares it with her friends and stuff, and people will DM her and like, wow, you're always going, this is amazing. But she says, but Marcus, no one ever interacts with it. I'm like, well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Your target audience is not gonna be your friends or your family or the people in your close circle. Your target audience are the people who don't know you, who are out there, who are interested in the things that you do. You have to be unafraid to share that with the world. Your biggest supporters are going to be strangers, are going to be people who do not know you. You cannot be afraid to share with the world what you find interesting, because if you want to find some level of success, and it's not to say that the people that love you and who are around you don't support you, but it's not going to be the same. The people, if you're in theater, you're a thespian or someone who's an actor or anything like that, the people who are going to your shows are people who do not know you. It's not to say that the people around you are hating on you or anything like that. Could be the case. But that doesn't mean that. But because they know you, they don't feel the need to go to your events and do those things because they know you. They tell you to yourself in person, oh, I'm proud of you. Great job. But them telling you to your face does not reflect, um, marketing wise. People who don't know you are the ones who are going to support you in the way that you want to from a marketing standpoint, not the people that you know. And like I said, that instant gratification and that long term payoff is what a lot of people fear. If it doesn't work out in the first 5 minutes or the first week or the first day, it's an instant failure. No, that's not true. Or they think about, oh, well, what about the long term? It's not, this might not work out for like another 20, 30 years, but what is it about? It's about, whether or not, it's appealing to other people or doing something that you like and you enjoy. It should be about whether or not you like what you're doing. Do what you love. Doesn't matter who watches it or who sees it or who's interested in it. You do what you love. People will sense the passion in what you do. People will come. You build it, they will come. I know it sounds cliche to say that, but it's true. You put the passion behind something that you like, the people will show up. Just keep doing the things that you're interested. Keep doing it with love and passion, and you will see the results that you want. It might not be today, might not be tomorrow with the instant gratification. Might be a couple months down the road. It might be a couple years. Some people don't even get famous until they're middle aged or even later. But that's not what it's about. It's about doing what you love doing things that interest you. Get out of that procrastination. Get yourself off the couch. Find new hobbies. Do things that you like and continue on one step at a time. That's what it's all about, you know? And like I said, procrastination is emotional. It's not about time management. It's about mood management. It's about managing your mood, doing things that make you happy, doing things that doesn't make you feel like you need to curl up in a ball, that you should stay in the house, doing things that make you feel fulfilled, doing things that make you feel like you make a difference in your life. You know what I'm saying? That's what's important, you know. The mental health impact of procrastination is so large. The guilt and shame loop, over and over and over again, putting things off, feeling bad, avoiding it more, and then repeating that cycle. And like I said, you sit at home, you don't leave the couch, and you keep doing the same thing. Oh, I'll do it again tomorrow. Oh, I feel bad because I put it off, and I put it off some more, and I avoid it even more, and I keep doing the same thing. Time passes by, and I've never done it. I've never done it. And it builds so much anxiety, and it crushes your self-esteem. It creates so much damage towards your self-esteem. It's like, oh man, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my time? It's just passing me by. It's just passing me by. What am I doing? I could have did it so long ago. What's wrong with me? That's what starts to happen. That's what starts to creep in your mind and damage your self-image. You know, it creates this illusion of being lazy when really it's just fear or exhaustion. A lot of times it's the fear. The fear is crippling. Just take a step, one step at a time. You know what I mean? Um, and it happens a lot of times. I've procrastinated on something, a lot of things, like for instance, the gym. You know, I prioritize health. Health is wealth. Health is really important to me in fitness. But there's been a lot of times in my life I've gone months without working out. I've been working out since I was 17, right? In the last year, for an example, leading up to the last couple months, I put off going to gym. Oh, I'm gonna go to the gym. I get a membership. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna work out. I'm losing weight because I don't work out. I start to feel um, not so happy, not so positive about myself because I'm not being active. I'm not working out. I'm spending more time at home. I'm eating snacks. I'm feeling lazy. I'm feeling disgusted with myself. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna go to the gym. I don't do it. I keep putting it off. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 7 months, 8 months, a year passes. I don't touch the gym. And then it starts to affect me mentally. When I'm active, I feel the endorphins go. They just start to roll and I feel more positive. But when I'm not doing nothing and I'm just wallowing away, I start to feel that. And it affects me mentally. It kills my self esteem. And that affects me in multiple aspects of my life, whether it's work, family, friends, relationships. It affects me. And so, as of recently, as of the past 2 or 3 months, started going back to the gym. I feel more positive. I feel more better about myself. I feel more in tune with my life. I feel like I got the ball rolling, that I'm making steps. You know, I'm not in the gym 5 days a week like I was in the past. I'm in there 3 days a week, 4 days a week. I'm being more active. I'm doing several different things. I'm riding bikes. I'm swimming, you know. I'm in the gym doing little things here and there. I'm taking walks through the park. I'm being more active. I'm prioritizing myself more. I'm not procrastinating. I'm taking steps. And in return, I feel better. My mood is better. I feel more fulfilled, you know. And this has affected me in so many ways. When I wasn't doing it, I felt terrible, but now I feel so much better about myself. And it's been a good experience of taking the time out to just make a step forward. You know, just take a step. That's all it takes sometimes. And it really created a big momentum shift in my life. And now I feel like I'm snowballing into positivity. And that's what's important. Um, and there's some things that you can do to break the cycle. And I'm not saying just go out and just, and let's say your goal is to run a marathon. I'm not saying go run 5 miles the first day, you know, take some small steps. Just go jogging for 5, 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Do things, break things down in increments. You want to be a painter. I'm not saying go paint a Picasso, get all these tools and all that stuff the first day. Maybe take a free class, look on Meetup or something and see a like-minded group of people on Reddit, or use forums to find like-minded people who are interested in doing the things that you like to do. Find a group, find a class that might meet up for 30 minutes once a week to paint, do things like that. Um, if you want to, make music, be a singer, be an artist, anything that you want to do. Let's say you want to learn a language like myself. I'm actively language learning. So what I like to do, I try not to overwhelm myself with the practice, the studies of the languages. I take 30 minutes a day. I'll do 30 minutes a day. I'll practice, and then I'll leave it alone. I don't want to overwhelm it. I don't want to do too much to where it feels like a chore. I want to do enough to feel stimulated and then to continue enjoying it, and then do it again the next day. When I'm on long train rides commuting for like an hour or so in the subway, I I'll listen to some audios, some podcasts in my target language for an hour. Once the train ride's done, I leave it alone. On my way back home, I do it again. I might play it again for like the duration of the train ride, and then that's it. I'm actively working towards that goal. I'm actively doing the things that I like to do, a little bit at a time. Um, and that helps a lot. Also, what you can do is, break those tasks down into tiny steps. Chop it down, son. Break it up. If it's too big of a task, break it up. Let's say, for instance, your goal is to travel the world. You want to go do different things, but it's like, man, I don't have the money, or I don't have this, I don't have that. Okay, um, you can kill two birds with one stone. Say every time you want to go to McDonald's, or every time you want to spend money on something that you're trying to get away from, it's not too good for you or something like that. You can, whatever the number three at Wendy's is, if that's what you were planning on getting, go home, cook at home. One, you're saving money. Two, you're helping your health a little bit more than you were before. And then three, whatever that number three was, $7.99 plus tax or whatever, take that, put it in a jar, put it in a space where you can put that money away and save for that vacation that you want to do. And when time comes for it, you have the money. So every time, every day, let's say for, I don't know, a month, every day that you plan on spending money on something unnecessary that you don't necessarily love or need, but you just kind of do it to fill space. That $7, that $8 a day that you would have spent on BS, you put it in the jar. By the end of the month, that adds up. By the end of the year, that definitely adds up. Now you got enough money to take for a trip, you know? Or if not, you cut a big cost out of it, a big chunk out of the cost. It helps you out big time. Do things in increments. Chop it down if you have to. Do an environment shift. If you're somebody that works from home, you know what I mean? If you spend a whole lot of your time at home, you just feel like, man, I don't need to move. I don't want to go nowhere. Go outside. Do something in a different environment. If you want to exercise more, but you feel like, oh, doing those abs and doing the yoga in the house is starting to get boring. It feels repetitive. Go do it in the park. Go do it outside. You know, change your environment. Do things in a different space. It helps out a lot when it feels new. It feels reinvigorating for a second when you do something that feels repetitive, but just do it in a different space. It feels like it's a completely different task, a completely different project when you're doing the same thing, but just in a different room, a different space, a different environment, a different area. That's it. Sometimes you just need a change of scenery, and that helps a lot. Holding yourself accountable, take accountability, tell somebody what you're going through. Tell somebody what your goal is. Tell it to someone. Tell someone what your goal is. Tell someone what you're trying to achieve and have them hold you accountable. Just tell them about it. Tell them what you're doing. They'll check on you and say, hey, how's that going? How's the progress going with your XYZ project? Have you been doing it? What's stopping you? That can help so much when you tell someone else and they hold you accountable. And you can do the same for them. They tell you some goals that they have in mind. And you ask them, hey, what's going on? Keeping each other accountable helps so much. So much. And have some self-compassion. Stop beating yourself up about it. It happens. We all procrastinate. We go through it. Stuff happens. Things happen in our lives. We don't feel as good as we did before, the day before. I get it. I understand. But have some compassion for yourself. Don't beat yourself up. You're trying. You're trying. You're trying to make the next steps. You're trying to be a better person. You're trying to do things that are pushing your life in a positive direction. It's okay. None of us are perfect. We're going to make mistakes. Everything is not going to go perfect the first time. But taking steps is better than not taking steps at all. Doing anything is better than doing nothing at all. One step is always better than no steps. Remember that. Don't beat yourself up about it. You're doing the best that you can. We all are. Nobody's perfect. And honestly, discipline, remember this, discipline is built in tiny wins, not grand gestures. The things that we want to achieve in life, none of it happened. Rome was not built in a day. I know that sounds cliche, but Rome was not built in a day. Everything takes small steps, not giant leaps. One step at a time, One small thing today is better than big plans tomorrow. Because to be honest with you, tomorrow never comes. It's only today. And then tomorrow is going to be today. I know it sounds crazy, but tomorrow never comes. There's only today. And what are you going to do today? What's something that you're putting off right now, that you're putting off for tomorrow, that you could be doing today? Tomorrow will not be here, but today is here. Work on that. And so I hope that anybody who's listening to this podcast, brave enough to talk, you're going through some issues, talk about it. Please be brave enough to talk. And remember, this is a podcast about men's mental health. It's geared towards men and the things that men go through, but it's not exclusive to men. So anyone out there, women, anyone who's out there dealing with issues, and this could be helpful for you, please take something from it. Be brave enough to talk. Until next time, this is Cousin Marcus, and I'll be here for you every single week.